Well, hello, welcome to the weather update. It's 10 o'clock, September 7th, 2021. And it was a beautiful day today. Mostly sunny skies, a few patchy clouds here and there. But other than that, another nice, beautiful day. A little increasing smoke, I guess. You can see a little haze there as the sun was setting. We can look at the MODIS satellite here, and you can see where the smoke is coming from. It's actually coming from California, so you could kind of follow it. And we may be getting into some of this smoke tomorrow. Speaking of smoker. Oh, my God, I can't breathe in here. I might wind up calling 911 because I can't take it anymore with this guy. I just can't. I'll just say there's a fire, and I'll smell smoke. That's all, because I do. That's all. But, yeah, you can see some of the smoke here that's coming from California. Still going. Over here, there's Larry. Look at Larry. Yeah, large Larry. They call it large Larry, but that storm. And again, looking at that eye is. Let's take a look at this eye here, and we'll move this over here so you can see the eye over here, over our thing. And that eye is now, it looks like it's over 50 miles wide, maybe 60 miles wide now. That's insane. So there's Large Larry right there. That's what I'm calling him, Large Larry, because he's large. Look at how large it is. That's a large storm. If you put that storm over New York City, it would stretch from Boston to Philadelphia. It's probably beyond a little bit. That's how big it is. And we're going to start seeing some of the effects of the swells from it. Yeah, you can see some of the patchy clouds that developed. It looks like over the Pine Barrens. Happened to be right where it was, of course. And some over New Jersey as well. Well, over the eastern Pine Barrens. For some reason further west, we didn't have that. But yes, I was in the Pine Barrens today. I was at Sears Bellows. I have a short video for you later. It was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Absolutely spectacular day there, and it was incredible. Absolutely incredible. There you go. What a beautiful sight. So let's go and look at what our high temperatures are. We'll get to Larry in a moment, but let's take a look at our current conditions here. And you'll see dew points are starting to rise. I'm feeling the humidity rise tonight. I felt a little humidity during the day, and now it's really starting to come up tonight. We have dew points in the mid-60s. Temperatures around 70. Of course, in the alley, it's in the mid-70s. But look at West Hampton. It's already down to 59 in West Hampton. So there is still radiational cooling going on in the Pine Barrens. Of course, not in the urbanized areas. Let's see if New Jersey is getting radiational cooling, too. Not as much as West Hampton, but it is 68 in Bayville. And this site actually happens to be west of Double Trouble State Park. Or is Miller Air Park reporting again? No, it's Berkeley Township. So apparently they're using a different site now. At Miller Air Park. But yeah, we have Miller Air Park here, but not nearly as cold as West Hampton. Not nearly as cool as West Hampton. So let's go and take a look at what our day was like here on Long Island, and we will go and we'll start with West Hampton. Let's go and look at West Hampton. 3-day history for West Hampton. And the reason why I want to look at that is just show you the sea breeze development, and of course we're going to have to wait. No, we're going to preload some of these. Let's go to iSlip as well. Preload them so you have an idea of when the sea breeze came in. All right. And we'll also look at this site over here as well. 3-day history. Well, we'll do Lakehurst. How's that? It's an official site. It's Lakehurst, right? Yes, it's Lakehurst. All right. So first we'll start at iSlip, and you'll see here the trend for the day here that we had temperatures generally actually a little warmer than I thought. It was close to 80 degrees. Dew points were in the low 50s at iSlip, and then they started rising in the afternoon. However, I think if we look at some other sites on Long Island, we might have had higher dew points. Let's look at West Hampton here. Go a little further east when that sea breeze kicked in a little sooner. And you'll see here the dew points were a little higher. Yeah, we had some dew points in the mid to upper 50s. So it was already a little bit of humidity, just a little bit. Feeling just a little bit of humidity in the afternoon. Let's look at New Jersey now. which of course was a lot warmer. But the humidity didn't really kick in until a little later on. But now they're dealing with some humidity too. So that's Lakehurst. Hopefully you can see all that. Hopefully you can. So let's go back to this, and we will look at what our highs were today and our lows. So first start with our lows. See what our lows were this morning and see what kind of radiational cooling West Hampton got. It got down to 52 at West Hampton, 60 at Islip. So, and it's some 50s too in the North Shore there, some of the cooler spots, but upper 60s in the city, obviously holding on to the heat. Let's see about Jersey. Pine Barrens West, 53. So, yeah, they got some radiational cooling as well. Now let's go to the high temperatures. Let's see what the high temperatures on Long Island were. We had highs around the 80-degree mark. We thought it was going to be in the mid to upper 70s, but we actually managed to get to 81 at Islip, which is still above normal. 79 at West Hampton. Looks like 81 at Farmingdale. That's Farmingdale over there. It is Farmingdale. 81. Let's go look at the city here. Central Park 79, LaGuardia 83, JFK 81. Let's go look at Jersey around Toms River. A little warmer there, 83 in downtown Toms River, and 83 in the Miller Air Park, and 81 at Lakehurst. So not really a huge difference there between the Jersey and Long Island. Not as big as you would think. Let's go look at the Wonder Map observations here next. We're going to look at here. And I'm going to look at where I was, which was over here in Hampton Bay. I guess this would be the closest observation site, East Quogue. So this would be kind of typical of the conditions that I was hiking in today. Let's see how accurate this is. It looks like it is pretty accurate. So it got up to 79.5, so it didn't quite hit 80. It got close to it. But dew points, yeah, not that low. So I was feeling a little humidity out there. A little bit low. Dew points were in the low 60s, so just a little bit of humidity. You can see the winds were the winds. Looks like they had more of a sea breeze than we did, yeah, they had more of a sea breeze right at East Quogue. The sea breeze a little further north took a little longer to kick in, and I guess representative of that would be the North Patchogue weather station. So let's go and look at that. And we'll see when that sea breeze started. So let's see, 69.6 right now. So we got up to close to 80 degrees. You can see his dew points were in the upper 50s to around 60. It looks like the sea breeze started. He had a sea breeze start around 1 in the afternoon. But it was going back and forth for a little bit, and then the sea breeze kind of came in. And that's what that whole cloud deck was that formed over the Pine Barrens. It's actually a sea breeze front that developed. So if we go and we look at the observations here, early from West Hampton, you'll probably be able to see the sea breeze front on here again. I'll use this site to show you the sea breeze front. So we had... No, I had southwest winds all day. That's interesting because we had northwest winds at west to northwest winds when I got there, and then the winds went to southwest later on. That's kind of interesting. At Flanders, at least, but I guess it depends on the station. Shirley is not reporting. No, Shirley is reporting again. Let's see. No, they just started reporting now. But the sea breeze really didn't kick in until like later in the afternoon. That's my point. Enough on that. Let's go and talk about what everybody wants to hear about, and that is Hurricane Larry. Large Larry. Let's get the latest public advisory on Large Larry. Reconnaissance aircraft finds Large Larry. See, they're already calling it Large Larry. See, I'm the one who said that. I'm the one who said Large Larry. So now they're calling it Large Larry. Finds Large Larry a little better organized. Likely, I'm sorry, I gotta laugh. Likely reduce dangerous swells over the western Atlantic coast this week. So as of 8 p.m., its location is 25.4 north, 56.5 west, about 690 miles southeast of Bermuda. Maximum sustained winds 115 miles an hour, moving northwest at 9 miles an hour. Minimum central pressure 965 millibars or 28.50 inches. I'm the one who coined the large Larry phrase. You know I did that, all right? So I should be getting credit for that. So, as of 8 p.m., the center of the large eye of Hurricane Larry is located at, we already did that already, and they're predicting a turn to the north-northwest and north with an increase in forward speed forecast on Thursday. On the forecast track, the center of Larry should pass east of Bermuda on Thursday. Maximum sustained winds remain near 115 miles an hour, so still Category 3. Larry is a large hurricane. Hurricane force winds extend outward up to 70 miles from the center, and tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 185 miles from the center. And the estimated minimum central pressure is 965 millibars, or 28.50 inches. And like I said, this is an extremely large storm. It's not common to have such large hurricanes in the Atlantic. So let's go and look at the cone here, and you'll see it's still affecting Newfoundland. Perhaps Friday night. And then it's going to... Look at that. Look, Greenland is in the cone now. They've even put Greenland in the cone. That's crazy, all right? It's a large storm. It's not going to... Even when it gets over colder water, it's going to take some time for it to weaken. So let's look at Large Larry. Large Larry. Can't believe it. All right, let's go look at Large Larry right now on the satellite image here. And I'll move this over so you can see that in the center of the screen there. And there he is. Looming large in the Atlantic and holding his own. He's holding his own and throwing his weight around. So, what can I say? What a name for... I'm the one who said that. I'm the one who said that. I get credit for that. You know it was in the title of my weather update. That was before they even said Large Larry. I'm the one who said that. All right, anyway, let's go look at tropical tidbits and look at Large Larry on tropical tidbits and look at that big eye. Yeah, he's got a big eye. Yeah. Look at that. Still going. Still holding his own. So they're probably not going to increase in strength, but there'll be small fluctuations, but it's more or less going to be maintaining its strength for a while. Here are the models tracking it, and again, it could impact Newfoundland, and it could go up near Greenland. Look at these models going all the way up near Greenland. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. And we spoke about this in the other weather update. Here's your intensity guidance. So they pretty much maintain the strength right through 72 hours and then start to weaken it. But still, it's going to take time for it to weaken to the point of not being a dangerous storm. So let's go to the models now, and we're going to take a look at Large Larry on here. Let me go and look at this so we can move this out to the eastern U.S. Is Large Larry going to show up on this one? I don't think so. Oh, yeah, he does. Okay, so the reason why it's important to have Large Larry in here. So tomorrow we're going to have that ridge moving offshore. You can see the tighter isobars, southwest flow. Cold front moves through tomorrow night into early Thursday, and that's the trough that keeps Larry away. And Larry's going to move east of Bermuda and then get picked up by this trough and flung northward. And while that happens for us, we're going to have another nice, beautiful air mass move in Friday, Saturday, right through the weekend. A nice big high that's going to really be lingering for right through the weekend. It's going to be very nice once again. So we have finally getting all that beautiful weather we wanted all summer long. We're getting it in September. And again, looking at Larry here, you can look at the wind here. This doesn't give me the wind. Where's the wind thing? Oh, there it is. I'm a little tired. I think it was a long hike today. So you can see it really holds its own with the wind. It really holds its own. And then I'd have to go and I'd have to move this to the Atlantic, the North Atlantic view here. Of course, this is kind of zoomed out, but you can see Larry here possibly impacting Nova Scotia and then going into possibly Greenland. by September 13th. So that is insanity right there. All right, and you know it's really just nuts. That's all I got to say. Let's see if we can get a little closer view. It would be nice if we had a closer view, but it doesn't really give us a closer view because it's moving so far. Southeast Canada. Okay, here we go. So we can kind of look at how large Larry is going to impact Southeast Canada. Let's go ahead and do that. This is a closer view. So this is the concern here. Look at this. It looks like it has the eye going over. What is the city over here? It's not Halifax. It's St. John's, I think. But it has the eye going right over this island here. And then it goes up into, look at this, and it goes up into Greenland. So it loops around because it's going to get caught in this trough. But you can still see it's a strong storm. On the right side, you're going to be dealing with some very strong winds. So that's going to cause a lot of damage and swells, too. So this storm is really something. I got to say, it's really something. We'll go to the look at it on the precipitation signature, but look at how deep it is. I mean, look at how deep that is. That is extremely deep. 973. So that's and it's gonna go and it's gonna affect Greenland. It's gonna get pushed up into the Arctic by this trough, which is pretty damn nuts if you ask me. And again, here it is, and you'd be very glad that this thing is tracking offshore and not hitting us. Here's Bermuda over here. Bermuda probably will miss out on it. Maybe they'll get in some of the outer bands, but they should miss out on it. Though Larry's a large storm, so they could get some effects for sure. But you've got to watch out for that maritime provinces of Canada for sure. Because, again, very strong hurricane there that we see on these models. All right. And let's go take a closer look now as to what we're going to now. Fortunately, we have these troughs coming through. We have the jet stream back, and that's what's going to keep Larry away. But we're still going to see some effects from Larry. All right, this is wave period. Let's do wave height. You get an idea of what it's going to do to the waves here. All right, and you can see that purple. So that is going to be heading for. That's going to be heading for Nova Scotia and the Canadian Maritimes. So we're going to see high seas, and I'm going to look at some other models too with that. So let's go to the HRRR right now and look more at our weather on the surface, and show you what's going to be happening as we head into tomorrow. High moves offshore, strong southwesterly flow sets up, increasing clouds throughout the day, maybe a couple of spotty showers and thunderstorms. And then this line of thunderstorms seems to develop that could wind up being severe, hitting around midnight for Thursday. And then it kind of slowly pushes offshore. But the HRRR seems to want to develop a wave along the front, kind of linger the rain a little bit around through part of Thursday. All right, which is not good because we've had so much rain, and it's not going to take a whole lot to cause more flooding. And if we look at the total accumulated precip on the HRRR, you'll see some areas could get another inch of rain, which is not going to be good. And it's got some areas, even an isolated area of Long Island, could have 2 inches because these storms could be training. So this front is moving a little. This always happens. We all know this always happens, all right, because you have a warmer than normal ocean, and it's adding more energy into these fronts and causing them to fire up more storms. All right, and the fuel is there. So if we look at the dew point here, you'll see that we're going to have these strong southerly LLJ coming up. All right, so we're going to have humid conditions tomorrow, and then this front's going to be very slow to clear. And originally thought, oh, it's going to move right offshore, but no, it's going to take its sweet time moving offshore. Eventually we'll get it offshore, but it's going to take its sweet time. All right, let's look at the temperatures now. Going into tomorrow, because it's going to be quite warm in Jersey's probably going to get into the mid-80s tomorrow. Long Island, with that onshore flow, probably around 80. South Shore will get a nice sea breeze. You can see that front, but it kind of like washes out a little bit. It takes that second push to get it offshore into Friday. And this is, again, the HRRR's model of it. This is how the HRRR is interpreting this situation. And GFS, we know, is a lower resolution model. So if we look at the GFS, the resolution is going to be lower. And you can see that even with the temp. Let's go look at our temperatures for your Wednesday. And then GFS, again, shows a similar trend. All right, look at our temperatures. We cool down. We have nice weather Friday through the weekend, 70s, maybe heating up a little more on Sunday by the 80s. But I think the humidity should stay low once we get this front through. But this kind of visualizes the front. And I'm looking at this on the GFS, and it seems like the GFS just wants to bring it through a little bit faster, but it's slow. You can see it trying to get hung up there. And then we're going to have those strong northwest winds for Friday, bringing a much better air for Friday. And then we start seeing that warmth and humidity try to come back on Sunday, though it won't be as humid as it's going to be for tomorrow. And you can see that again, that strong southerly flow in the atmosphere there. All right. And if we look at our 850 height and wind, which is another thing we can do, let's see if there is an LLJ that actually does develop here. I do not see an LLJ here, fortunately, so that's good. There's no LLJ, so that's good. So there won't be an LLJ, but you're going to have a cold front, basically, that's going to come through. All right, looking at clouds, which we can visualize here, there'll still be sunshine tomorrow. There's not really that many clouds. The clouds won't come in until later in the evening with this front. You can see this front just kind of gets stuck here for a moment, and then it pushes offshore for Friday and then Saturday, and the weekend should be much nicer. All right. We can also look at the NAM3. Actually, before I do that, let me look at the total accumulated precip. Let me go to the precipitation view on the GFS so you can get an idea what the GFS does with this front. It's a little less impressive than the HRRR. Well, again, it's got a lower resolution, so it's going to be hard to pick out those, thunderstorms that could dump an inch of rain. But let's look at the total accumulated precip, and you can see GFS not quite as impressive, and it brings more of the accumulated precip, more of the heavier precip, up in the Hudson Valley, which is the last place they need more rain, obviously. But that could be what winds up happening. Let's go to the sky. Let's go to the skies, and we're going to go to look at the NAM model here, and we're going to look at the 18Z because I need something that's going to go out far enough. So again, looking at tomorrow, plenty of sun. We're going to see more clouds later on in the afternoon, but it still shouldn't be a bad day. But it's the evening when you see this front and the thunder. And this front is just going to get hung up. Going to stall out. All right, so it looks like we have a little stall front syndrome for Thursday, and then we move it offshore for Friday. But again, the problem with that stall front syndrome is the showers and thunderstorms that could wind up developing. We're going to look at the NAM model, and you can see this line. You see, we don't really see too much rain until this line develops, and this line is very impressive tomorrow night around 9-10 o'clock. Look at this line here that is over New Jersey. It does break it up as it moves toward the coast. But, we've always assumed, that it moves toward the coast, it breaks up. But that may not happen tomorrow night. We may see some severe weather tomorrow night with this strong cold front, but the front is slow. So that's the issue. Some of these storms could wind up training. And then another line forms just to our east on Thursday. So you can see what's going on here. All right, so if we look at our total accumulated precip here, and we'll use both resolutions of the NAM here to show you this. You can see that where these storms hit, there could be as much as another 2 inches of rain. All right. We could look at the NAM 12 as well. And again, I'd have to move the 18Z run. And let's go look at the NAM 12. Now, the NAM 12 versus the NAM 3 seems to have that area more to our north. All right. But the potential's there wherever any of these heavy showers and thunderstorms could develop with this front, and if they're training, then they could cause a lot of rain, and we all know that the models underdo the rain lately because they can't handle all the changes going on in the atmosphere with the climate change. So obviously not going to clear out. You're going to have to wait if you want that clear sky. But if we go to the RGEM and look at the clouds here, you will see that by Friday we will clear it out. So Thursday you can see this front. Originally we thought we'd get it offshore a little quicker, but it looks like it wants to slow it down. Maybe it'll speed it up again, but right now it wants to slow it down. And then Friday we should have a nice day, maybe a little Q build up in the afternoon. That's pretty much it as far as that goes, and then clear on Saturday. But we've got to worry about that severe weather. So let's go to the Storm Prediction Center And now look at this threat for severe weather for tomorrow night, because there is a threat for severe weather. Let's get... Oh, my. What is going on? Where are the... All right, I need the day 2 outlook, for whatever reason. You can see we're in a marginal risk for severe weather tomorrow night, all right? With a slight risk now, or just to our north and the west. So there could be some severe weather. Plenty of humidity, strong cold front, big differences in air masses can cause that. And again, the flooding could be a big risk with this. And of course, we're going to look at the Cape levels too. That'll be the next thing we do. We're going to go to Vent 2 Sky, and we will look at the Cape levels for tomorrow. So let's move this over to Wednesday, and we'll start 8 a.m., 11 a.m., 2 p.m. So it's not too bad over the island, but look at what's going on off to the west here. So this is what's going to try to be moving in our direction here, all right? And 11 p.m., you can see that Cape. And again, it might you can see this front just kind of lingering here. All right, there's Larry over there, all right? But you can sort of see, finally, 5 a.m., we start trying to push this front offshore. But we're not sure how far it's going to get. That's the issue, all right? And, of course, you see Larry right here, all right? So we'll go to that next on here, I guess, and we'll look at the look at Larry on here. And you can see here's Larry right here, all right? Very strong storm. And this is the HRRR, and showing Larry here. Fortunately, staying offshore and making a turn. This is Thursday. It starts to finally make a turn. Why is it not moving? It's barely moving. 11 p.m. It's still over here. So for some reason, it's not getting picked up by the trough as quickly. It seems like it's just taking forever to get... Let's go and move this to Friday. All right, finally it gets picked up. It's like sits there for a little bit before it gets picked up on Friday, finally. But this thing could, like I said, impact Newfoundland. Let's go to 11. You can see this is what Newfoundland could be dealing with on 11 o'clock Friday night. And again, this is the conservative estimate. This is the more likely estimate here, that we could have 100-mile-an-hour winds battering. This is a hurricane right here, right? This is still a hurricane, even hitting Canada. That's pretty incredible. Pretty incredible. And again, if we move this back to what we go move this back to tomorrow, let's move this to Thursday. Thursday afternoon at 3 o'clock. We'll make it 5 o'clock. All right, so we can look at Larry here. All right. You can see what we're dealing with here. Again, healthy Category 3 hurricane. It's not that far away, and it's close enough that it's going to have impacts. Just be glad that you have this trough here, and you don't have a pattern that would bring this into the coast, because this would be a major disaster if that were to happen. You can see it's lifting. It's getting lifted and kicked out by this cold front, thank God. So you got to hope that you want that cold front to get as far through as possible to keep this thing away. And by all means, it should be far enough away that the only effects we're going to see are the surf. And that's the issue here that you're going to have. And again, look at some of these 50-foot waves generated on. But even at our beaches, we're going to have 7-8 foot swells here. It's going to be pretty incredible. I want to use the windy.com's site so we can look a little more at Large Larry and track Large Larry as it moves. So this is the European model here. We can track Large Larry. It goes east of Bermuda. Gives Bermuda a little bit of a shave there. Thursday, here you go. Getting closer. You see it gets picked up and then flung northward. All right. And again, that's an extremely impressive wind speed. All right. But you can see it gets picked up and flung, and that's the issue. It gets flung, so it's going to be moving fast, and it's not going to really have that much time to weaken. And St. John's, St. John's could get clocked by this thing. This could be a major disaster for a hurricane in St. John's. It's highly possible. And then this thing heads for Greenland. All right, here we are Saturday. Look at that. It's in Greenland now. Greenland is getting some strong winds with this. All right, and it's going to bring some warmth, too, to Greenland as well. We're going to see that warmth again, and it's not going to be good for the ice sheet. I talked about this, I believe, yesterday. All right, so let's go to the waves now, because this is a good model to use with the waves. I think this works pretty well, and you'll see when the swells are going to start to affect us. Not tomorrow. Bermuda, on the other hand, is going to get affected by these swells big time. You can see, look at that, 42-foot waves. My gosh, it's such a large, intense storm. And so Bermuda is going to still have problems, even if they don't get they're going to be dealing with 20-footers perhaps at their beaches. So that is going to be bad news. That is going to be bad news. And we're going to start seeing the effects. Here we are Thursday. We're still not seeing the effects yet. But let's move this along to Friday. And now we're going to start seeing the effects now here at our beaches here. We're going to start seeing these swells come in here. And this is going to generate some pretty impressive waves. Again, 8 foot. This could cause some coastal flooding. It doesn't even have to hit us to cause coastal flooding and beach erosion. That is something we may be dealing with Friday. And again, look at this. This is incredible. And right now, the worst of it's in the middle of the ocean. I mean, almost 50-foot waves, and around the sun you got 20. Hopefully, the ships don't get caught in this, because there's a good chance that any ship that's going to try to go through this is probably going to sink. All right. Looking at Halifax, you're going to have some pretty big swells there for Friday, and then here we are Saturday. Look at St. John's. St. John's, I'm not sure so much of the geography. I think it's rocky there, but judging by some of these waves, this could cause some major problems for St. John's. And they may have to evacuate St. John's. They may have to evacuate this island. If it were to take this track, I think that they should try to evacuate, because this is going to be devastating. And then those waves move up into the Arctic. And look at this. It's still around Greenland. Here's Iceland here. All right, so you're going to have these waves moving in, and that's going to help some calving of glaciers and just accelerating the process. This is incredible to see. What can I say? This is very unusual. Oh, and I haven't even gotten to the other storm yet. The one in the Gulf. All right, then there's one in the Gulf too. That's right. I got to talk about that one too. Let's go back to the tropical tidbits, and let's go look at that storm in the Gulf right now. I think it's 15. No, it's not 15. All right, that's not Tropical Depression 15. Which one is it? 91L Invest? It's 91L. It's the Invest 91L. So some of the models take this up to a tropical storm. There's a lot of shear. The environment isn't great for it. You can see here some of the tracks that some of those models could take, but it could be more rain for a region that doesn't need more rain. And this could be a problem, even though it won't be that strong with the winds. It is. This is what it looks like right now. It's pretty messed up, but you definitely see that there's something there, and that's something that's going to have to be watched as well. If we go to the models on this, now let's go to the Gulf. Now I got to look at the Gulf, and we'll do this one, Tropical Atlantic, so you get a chance to see. GFS turns it into a weak system and brings it into the Florida Panhandle, perhaps tomorrow night. Brings some more rain. So this could wind up getting a name. It could wind up getting a name. It's pretty insane, all this stuff going on with the tropics. So I think that wraps up everything. Trying to remember everything that I wanted to check here. A couple of other types of satellite views I do want to check. Let me go to the satellite imagery here. And again, we're going to go look at Larry. Again, and I actually want to look at a couple of I want to look at a different type of I don't know if it's got the I don't know if it's air mass RGB. Yeah. I think this is the one. I don't know. There's one of them that shows moisture in the air. So it's got plenty of moisture to work with. You see plenty of green. around it. I think that's maybe this is the one. I don't know if that's the one. No, that's definitely not the one. If you go, it doesn't give you like all the options that you get. All right, so if we look at a still here of tropical Atlantic. I don't know if they got that. I should know. I don't use these other things. All I want is a water vapor. They don't have a water vapor one here. Oh, okay. AMAS RGB. So this shows the water vapor, I guess. But you can see it's got its own envelope of moisture that it's kind of in. Looks like it's taking in a little dry air. That orange is dry air. But other than that, plenty of moisture for it to work with. And this system here has some moisture to work with too, but it's dealing with shear, the one in the Gulf. But it's important to show that because hurricanes, tropical storms need moisture to strengthen. So if we go back to our tropical look here, and they also have satellite imagery on here. Actually, let's see. Yeah, here we go. This is exactly what I wanted, the water vapor. So I should have just stuck with the tropical tidbit site, so you can see all the moisture here. And it's, like I said, a lot of moisture in there. Let's look at the water vapor for Invest 91L. All right. So you can see there's a lot of darkness over here to the north, and that's dry air. So that's the enemy of any tropical system. So that's why this probably won't get too strong, the one in the Gulf. But again, we've got to watch that. And if we go and we look at our models here and go to the regions here and look at the North Atlantic, we can. There's another thing that I want to look at in here and see if they've got it in here. Yes, this is it. So you can see all the dry air that's wrapped around to the western part of the Gulf here, and that's what's going to be a problem for this. And you can see all the dry air over us too. All right, and that protects us from Larry. This is Larry here. And what's interesting is there's dry air around Larry, but it's got its own. It's so well developed that even surroundings aren't going to affect it. And again, you can see what's going to happen is this deep moisture that's actually going to come off. This is all that dark green which is going over us. Right, that's the humidity, the moisture in the air tomorrow night through early Thursday is going to get into Larry and could strengthen it, and then that's going to get thrown into the Arctic. So that's quite an impressive thing to see. And again, we'll go a little closer here on this. You get an idea of what's happening here. This is just, and you could see that moisture feed that we're going to have for your, and this is kind of disturbing seeing these dark greens, because when you see dark greens like this, this could indicate more heavy rain that we may have to worry about as well. But as far as Larry goes, Larry stays offshore, and then that dry air comes in. But you see that dry air isn't coming in until Friday now. So we thought we'd dry out later Thursday, but now we're going to have to wait until Friday and then Saturday. And then we'll have nice weather. But we have to watch a couple of things going on in the atmosphere right now. So the other thing that I want to talk about here, New Jersey is the stormiest state now. Yes, that's right. The stormiest state in the country right now is one of the stormiest places in America. The NWS in Mount Holly's issued more local storm reports than any other NWS office this year. And again, it's not surprising because New Jersey is one of the fastest warming states in the country. So, of course, it's going to also be experiencing a lot of the storms. And it's just its location just amplifies everything about climate change. It just holds the heat in. Sort of like my alley, in a way. But anyway, I think that's going to wrap up the weather update for tonight. A lot to talk about. I think I've been going for a long time here. It's just I'm very interested in this Hurricane Larry. It's just really interesting to see. Very unusual to see a storm this large, and the fact that it's going to. I mean, when was the last time you saw a warning? I mean, it has Greenland in the warning cone. It has Greenland in the warning cone. That is, I've never seen that before, ever. A hurricane hitting Greenland. Look, they still have the H here. Telling you, this is the new normal we really need to be talking about. Wink, wink, News 12. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching.